Hi Pisces. Alright, welcome to this place. If you're new here, it's called Opal Oracle. My name's Raaji. If you're returning, welcome back. Okay, so I thought it would be fun. Virgo season has inspired me to look at the last quarter of the year. So little forward projection of energy. Of course, you decide your future, right? For the most part. You have a lot of control over that. But I thought this might be helpful. And we're going to actually look at September, October, November, and December have their own piles. And then I used the bottom of the deck to kind of touch on Mercury retrograde. Your traditional ruler, also Jupiter, is now retrograde also, which to me is a very blessing place, a place of great blessedness, which we will make a separate video about. I feel like that one will be lengthier. But you could also take this reading as a bit of that, as Jupiter is actually retrograde through this whole time period. So if there's something, for instance, you're like, I don't quite feel that yet, or because the readings have been generally like quite positive. So in that sense, realize that we don't always know excuse me, everything that's coming to us or how, when, but we can be enthusiastic about it, right? Optimistic about it. Alrighty then. So let's start with Mercury retrograde, this undercurrent energy. Oh my God, your strength is getting so big. I feel like your strength came out of nowhere recently. Maybe some kind of power you like got back into yourself. Some of you could have also released yourself more recently from something that was like draining your power. And now where you are is you have Ace of Swords, which to me is a card of victory, and Six of Pentacles, which is in a sense another card of victory. It's fairness here, where a person is giving in the right places. They're learning how to receive love. They know what love, this is about love. Interesting. That came out pretty powerful. Alright, so, I see an anchor here. There's your energy, Pisces, Neptune. So during Mercury retrograde, I guess there could be some, right, when this energy is in this space, we're talking about going over, having discussions, creating ideas, looking at things from a different perspective on what is possible. For you, I guess this is highlighting who you are, which kind of touches on all your angles. So we're talking about you, work, which is 6 is also highlighting that to me. Other people, this is business and romance, as well as where you live. All of these points, I guess, are kind of being highlighted. You want to make sure whatever your job is that you are getting your fair share. And like, who is divvying out the money at work, or like who deals with the money is a thing. I heard there should be no secrets about that. Some of you could actually have an epiphany in relation to maybe some financial goal that you're going towards also. There could be more clarity around money. This is also clarity around your 6th house, to me, is the way I'm seeing it. So if you have any planets there, that's also being like something more comfortable in that place. Maybe you're preparing yourself for something or saving for something. I would definitely go over your finances. I mean, we're getting into the last fiscal, what do they call that? Like the last fiscal of the year, or, you know, Gregorian. So maybe going over your finances could also, Mercury rules over our money. So does Jupiter and Venus. But that could be something. I also see how far away is your sun from the 1st house, from the ascendant. I feel like there's a powerful Oh, someone's allowing themselves to be more in a line with spirit or with the way. Because to me, Six of Pentacles can also be kind of a karmic card, but in a way that where it's like somebody does something that's right. Is the way I'm perceiving it right now. And because of that, they have enough to give. So if you are generally the giver, please be open to receiving. It reminds me of the what's new coming towards you reading. That may fold over into this if you watch that also. But yeah, a lot of clarity here. Let's see. Look at you. There's your card. Maybe there was something that like in the past that was draining your energy, or maybe some kind of power struggle you had to go through, and you ended up on the other side of it victorious, and because of that you receive a gift also. This could have came around June, July time. Then I'm seeing August. Now we're in September. Speaking of, let's go 6/13. Let's go to September and see what's going on with that. Oh, we have the Chariot. Okay, so we have some movement there. And, oh, 10 of Cups. Alrighty then. So lots of interactions with other people. This is traveling to and fro. When's the last time you went to visit family? That could be something that's highlighted. Since Mercury is retrograde, and there's a lot kind of, to me, in a very positive way, astrologically happening in September. But Mercury particularly is until, because this is one of your squares, as well as your opposition. Although I feel like you have a lot of clarity here, but still, Mercury is retrograde till the middle of the month. So maybe until like, this, I guess, is showing me the first week, till the end of the first week. So 7th, is that like tomorrow, a couple days from now? Then we have the 10th, the middle of the month, like 15th to 17th. Okay. Yeah, someone's definitely traveling for family, or this is also putting some love into your vehicle could also be helpful. Maybe for some of you, the family helps with a vehicle or something like that. Again, traveling. This also shows me really positive relations. If for some reason you're having any trouble with family and it doesn't feel full and awesome and optimistic and positive, then this would be one of those things where it would kind of go back into looking at what the power struggles are, and maybe where what, well, I guess it would be looking at where the power struggles are, because when we have a closed fist, then we have no opportunity to receive, right? So I guess I wouldn't give where it's unwanted. If you've tried and it's being rejected, I would just leave that alone, because what's wanting to come in here is something that's moving you forward to a really beautiful place. There's something so positive here, Chariot and 10 of Cups. Again, because regardless of where you are, you are within it, but you're also going towards this. 10 of Cups is all the happiness. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful home. It's a nice piece of property. It's family. There's a beautiful couple here. There's like all the, it's not a power dynamic and like struggle. And so I guess if you're within that latter part, you'll be coming out of that. Let's see. I heard you can't teach an old dog new tricks, at least not overnight. So, I heard it depends on what's happening, like your ascendant in relation to Mars too. Some people right now like have struggles with certain things. Some people are gaining power with other things. there's these different dynamics. So the important part here is to know where you're at, and to, I heard, realize on the way to awesomeness. On the way to awesomeness, even if you're already in awesome, there will be like these places where it's kind of like, wait, where are we going? Are we lost? And everyone deals with the path a little differently. Someone could also come visit you, that you love too. That's important about this travel energy. Maybe some of you are also like planning a vacation, and maybe next year. It may be, this is also looking forward to October. Libra energy. So this is positive relationships is what you want to focus on. We talked about the power struggle. That's not really important. Wherever that is, it's kind of like, I feel like that's easing up anyway. Because I heard it's how you enter the relationship, or the dynamic. That's what's going to matter. It doesn't really, that I see again, that's what's going to matter. How you're feeling, right? Okay, let's actually look at September and see, or excuse me, October, and see what's going on there, Pisces. What do we got? Oh, Magician. Another magic hand here. Oh, and the Page of Pentacles. Awesome. So you are learning something so rad in October. Maybe there's some kind of like opportunity or offer. This is look, this is giving, right? And then receiving. This is giving, and then it's receiving. This is giving, and then this is receiving. I guess that's what you want to practice. That's a big part of what the practice is, especially for this Jupiter retrograde. Because remember, Jupiter is a giver. It's a giver of gifts. We have to, again, we have to be open to that, right? Not closed. And this could be any opportunity. It could be a work opportunity. It could be a land purchase. It could be an opportunity to go to school, something like this. It's really whatever I guess you've been wanting, thinking about, talking about. That's where I heard where the passion is. Where the passion is. Okay, so we have this is like there's a birthday party when you were little. What was the best gift you ever got when you were like a kid? Or like, what's the best birthday gift you've ever gotten? It's kind of funny. I feel like we're getting into Libra season, and Libra's friends with everyone. I feel like everyone like knows a Libra. But so again, October is the Magician and the Page of Pentacles. Again, whatever you've been learning about, any ideas that you have, it's like it could be where all of a sudden an idea becomes a physical reality too. It's not all the parts there, but it's like, okay, I heard I have this to offer you, right? I heard I want to offer this to you. This is also a person that recognizes that to create in the physical world, the mentality really has to be there, right? What we think about is what we become, what we find in the world. The mind is always reinforcing that, right? So this is a very positive mindset. Because of that, that also tweaks something in the physical world that makes it really fun. Maybe there's something independent that's also happening here, but it also connects to the future as well. There's also some kind of conversation or communication, like if creative flow has been a little bit weird, or maybe just energy has been being put somewhere else. Maybe there's been a lot of focus on family or work or whatever. This feels a little bit more interpersonal, and it's like, although it's reflecting into the future as well. Like, this is kind of like believing in your dreams, you know, like believing in magic. What happened? Okay, there was something, right, where I don't know if this is when you were a kid or whatever. Let's go back there for a second in a positive way. Like, what was the thing that happened when you were a kid where you were like, oh my God, magic is so real? Like, you did that thing that it was unexplainable, and like you could comprehend that there was something beyond that, but you couldn't explain it. Maybe even to this day, you couldn't really be like, well, logically this happened because da 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 da. But whatever happened, you're like, whoa, that's so. There had to have been some kind of other thing like going on in relation to this to even make this happen, right? It's not exactly a miracle. It's just like something that generally is intangible became tangible and real. Maybe it was just like, again, like someone just be like, well, you know, I had this, I used to think about, well, you know, if I say this was like a wish, it was like, oh, well, you could wish for anything in the world. Like, how would you go about, like, what would you wish for? What would you want? It's almost like that could totally come true. And this could either be from or towards you. So please be open to the opportunity. I would also say whatever your magical abilities are, this could be more metaphysical, spiritual, like, you know, your intuitive qualities or whatever, but it's also like these physical things that you create. You know, I don't know if you're a writer or painter or like a carpenter or whatever your creation expression is, that's also being like refined, or again, the creative flow is really in there, and that's helping a lot. This could also be thinking about launching something. For some of you, maybe it's more, again, future oriented. All right, let's see November for good measure. I'm going to give myself 5 seconds. I feel like we're getting excited. 17. Let's look at November. Oh, Temperance. So we have another major. 8 of Cups. I recorded Aquarius twice. They had this in one of them. Let's see here. You have a lot of majors. 1, 2, 3. So we're talking about creativity. We're talking about being thrifty. A little bit, not out of fear, but out of future orientation. If you are a drinker, I would definitely temper yourself in November. Some of you could also quit a bad habit, or at very least become more disciplined in wherever your bad habit is. I could also see maybe you have like a positive influence, or you come to understand, a bit more of how you work. I'm also seeing this kind of thing where it's like, if you want to keep the energy really fluid, then it would be like kind of denying yourself a little bit of something. You may have to. I don't know if it's forced exactly for all of you, but there's something about it where, like, if it's not, it would still be beneficial to take up the time or the opportunity to be like, okay, I want this, but I know I have to wait a little bit before it gets there. Maybe there's something about November to remember that in December you may actually receive what you're going for here, right? Because I almost feel like this loops back around. It's going towards back into this 10. So what's going on with November? Well, 8 of Cups is emotional fulfillment. Well, we'll take it. You're going towards emotional fulfillment. Depends how you feel right now. You could feel that too. To me, this is also emotional maturity, right? It's like, okay, I may feel a lot of things, but sometimes I have to temper how I feel to reserve energy, right? It goes back into that little bit of delayed gratification. Again, like, oh, I just did all this. Let me do, this is what I usually do after that, right? Like, let's make some basic examples of the devil showing up here. It's like, I like to have a drink after work. right? Oh, worked all day, oh, I want to drink. It's like, all right, well, maybe not every day, right? Don't always reward yourself with something that isn't good for you. Does that make sense? And even if you enjoy it and it's not bad for you, I see also stepping back again, not to reiterate, but it seems to be where stepping back again and being like, all right, again, I want this. I'll give an example. Like sometimes with cigarettes, although I'll be like, okay, I want to smoke a cigarette. I want this. I'm allowed to do it. I have free will to do that anytime I want. It's available. But sometimes I'll be like, well, I'm not going to smoke for a day. Or I'm not going to smoke for a couple hours. Something like that. Just setting a bit of, practice your discipline. I guess it will create more emotional maturity and help you to become closer to feeling better about the path. Okay? Let's see December, because he's going towards that, and Temperance is December time. Oh my God, Moon, you have so many majors. So we have Emperor, Aries energy, and there's the Ace of Swords twice. Boom. So whatever the, like, man, I don't know. I feel like there was a point in this year where someone felt like they didn't know, like, how to communicate how they felt, or they didn't realize that, like, how they felt was important. Or there was just confusion in ways of clarity on the way things are gonna go, or how they were supposed to go. But, like, once you get to the end of the year, that clarity is totally here. And because sometimes 8 and Temperance could be a bit of confusion where it's like, I don't know, it's which way is this going? Well, apparently you cut through the fog here. Let's see. Oh, I heard again, Aries. Just a second. Well, this is emotion. There's great emotion here. Moon is intuitive. There can be some misunderstandings to an extent, maybe during the moon, when the moon is strong, or if it's like aspecting you in a certain way, especially maybe your ascendant. That could be something that, like, makes it a little bit more confusing. But it's like it could be like a day later and it's totally clear again. So I guess if you ever get into this emotional space where you're like, you feel lonely, or you feel kind of like not as powerful or as supported as you did, we're getting into winter time here. Well, then that's when you really want to reach out. I just keep seeing someone, like, cutting through the darkness. Like, it's like they're cutting the I heard the black velvet veil, and, like, opening up, and, like, letting all the light in. And it totally, like, alleviates all this confusion around something, which helps a person to realize that, like, they're totally good where they are. This interesting Aries Libra energy. So hold on. I see, do not question your own self-value. Okay? Do not do it. I guess there's a little bit of, again, solo energy going through October, November, December. But one is not alone. There's just like some kind of individual process, because I almost feel like this is looping back around into this 10. So this is, again, is where you are and where you're going is a place of great support. These are happy, healthy relationships. There's some kind of bridge of where you are and where you're going also. Leo is one of your adjustment points, and you've been working through adjusting through Libra for quite a few years, and then we gave it like a break. And now I guess you're starting to adjust. We'll see how it goes as we move forward, but I feel like you're starting to adjust this place with Leo, which is believing in love. It's believing in your love. It's believing you are loved. It's believing in your creations and what you can create in this life. It's feeling confident in your heart. It's cutting away the BS of the past also, and like giving, like whatever it is that blocks you from, or has blocked you from recognizing, well, I guess how powerful you are. Again, and what you can create in this world. And look, when you are open to receive, look how much you get. Look how much you get. It's like, here's an Ace of Wands. Oh no, Ace of Wands turns into Two of Wands. And it's like, yep, oh my God, feeling so good that my whole life changes. Now all of a sudden, I'm so stable and solid and have such a power in myself that's built, that now is able to give. And once one gives, again, there's this great receiving. And you know what? We've talked about this since, I feel like it was a couple months ago. It was after Zumi passed, but like maybe since April, like Aries time, it started talking about you in your relationships with other people, particularly romantically, but yes, in ways of marriage and committed, long-term committed relationships, but also work, friend, whatever. There's definitely something here that's wanting you to be open in your heart to it also, right? Because you know what? You're such a giver. And so recognizing that you have others, again, like, of course, like, well, what do we want to say? Do we talk about your first house and like the MC? That's being highlighted again. This is who you are, and you're the tasks you've been given this life as a soul. I know that seems wide, but I sense you can look at life like this very easily if you want to. And maybe that's exactly a part of what there's the Chariot twice is happening here, because once you gain your power, then your relationships with others, your happiness and contentment in your one-on-ones, right? Again, here's your Libra, here's your Leo. This creates your piece of the pie, which you're allowed to have, and it's allowed to be delicious. So, maybe looking at what you admire in other people, and what is possible and ways of creating with other folks, Because it could be a little bit where maybe part of the lesson here is somebody at some point had to realize they can create it on their own. I mean, spirit's always involved, but humanly speaking, there was a lot of like independent energy. And then again, it loops back around to, and it's always here for you, but there's so much, it loops back around into this big, huge, supportive energy that's kind of giving you like maybe everything, I don't know. What are all the things, like if we said, oh, you get everything you've ever wanted, what would that be to you, Pisces? you know, in yourself, in your job, your relations with other people, and home, you know, or your spouse, whatever. There we go. What's that look like to you? This also reminds me of August's reading for you about really tapping into this physical world, right? And being a part of that. Because there's great gifts in this world too. Alrighty. I'm going to say that's that. Thank you so much for being a part of this place. It's always actually, well, not always, but Pisces was hidden from the space for a while, but then you popped up in like a beautiful wave of mermen and mermaids and warriors and warriors, and I'm so, excuse me, grateful for it. There's also a lot of Pisces over on Patreon, so if you've also been a part of that place, thank you. That was a lot of P's. Thank you, Saturn. Yeah, wherever you share your love and support in this life, and it's just, please know that that is so appreciated. It is so appreciated. Yes, it is. All your hard work, all your dedication and devotion, wherever you put it. Okay? All right. Please take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace out.